I just recently made about $3,600 swinging shares and options on some large cap equities. And I want to go over kind of what I saw on those trades, what I'm working with right now, what I think is working in the market, and to kind of peel back from futures a little bit. The indexes haven't had as much opportunity, and show you how there's a lot of opportunity in equities and getting longer dated options and shares. So I'm going to go over these trades in Apple and Nvidia. So I want to talk about Nvidia first, and Nvidia is a great example of selling early. I ended up getting, I was watching Nvidia at this zone right here at 190, and I'm actually going to come here to like a 30-day. I'm going to come to the daily chart and just kind of show you Nvidia was consolidating in this area, kind of this kind of back test of where this giant range right here. It broke out, came back down, bounced, came back down. And so in this area at the 190 is where I was looking for it to potentially bounce again, double bottom, and get back in. And we had some zones down here that I had drawn in. And so on this day, and it was actually, and I believe after hours of this session, I saw Nvidia recover 191, and I got in at exactly 191, 189 shares, about a $36,000 position. Then the next day, I was up 1,000 overnight, and I think I had to run out, and so I closed it at 196, and I made, I think, right around $1,000. Great. Well, I didn't know Nvidia was going to keep running like this, and to be honest, I didn't really have a legitimate reason, and my profit target was higher. I just simply closed too early and took the profit. But the next day, Apple had reported earnings, and so I ended up getting into Apple on the earnings drop the next day, and I rolled those profits into Apple. Apple had been down about 10%. And if you know anything about Apple, 10% is a pretty extended move down. It's very rare for Apple to go up or down 5, 6, 7% in a day. That would be considered a pretty massive move. So it was an overreaction. It came down to these levels and it held. And I want to come a 90-minute chart. On this day, I had placed an order directly at 300 because I thought it might kind of come down and hit this zone at 297. And I thought, well, maybe it's going to sweep 300 and then kind of go back up. I can get filled. Whereas you can see, the low was 300 to the penny, and my entry was 334 cents. That's because it never filled me at 300. Now, I know better. I know whole numbers and psychological numbers like this. This can happen, and I've seen it as a profit target or as an entry target. And it's funny because most times, right, if that was if your stop was 299 and 99 cents, it's going to hit your stop. But if your buy is at 300, it's not going to hit it. So I didn't get filled. It was only there for a short period of time, and it bounced up quick. I should have had my buy at like 305 cents, 302 cents. Not a huge deal. It was like a $48 difference, but I ended up having to get in at 334, which is fine, but just something to note, just how precise the market can be. Sometimes it's good to front run your profit targets or your entries. Like I definitely should have had it at 305 cents, just to note, because there's going to be times where, like I've had profit targets and you put your profit target at like 310 and it goes to 309.99, never hits your take profit and then comes all the way back down. I've seen that too. And that's really frustrating. So a good way to avoid it is to always kind of like lead your entries and exits by 5 or 10 cents or a couple ticks if you're on futures. So I got in, we had a nice pop up. I'm going to talk about the options trades I got into. I got some options on this. And Apple was frustrating because I just got off that Nvidia win. Apple, we popped up, and then we opened Monday and we dropped immediately back down into this zone. But my stop at this point, I'd moved my stop to break even mentally. It was still holding these zones, so there's no reason to get out of Apple, even on this drop. I was up, I think, close to 1,000 or so up here. And then by the next session, Tuesday morning, I think I was only up like $200. So most of the profit was gone. But I held the trade. This Tuesday, we had that massive market rally. So it was nice to be in Apple while that happened. Got all that profit back. And then the next day, again, you can see these wicks. I mean, this was up, down, up, down, up, down. And it was just one of those trades where I had my profit target's up here at 315. I'm going to hold for it. And as long as it's staying above 300, I have no reason to exit the trade. Ended up closing out at 313.34 in after hours. I just kind of put it exactly $13 above. I was again trying to lead the profit target a little bit. Again, could have held it, but after all this back and forth, wanted to lock in the gain and secure the capital. I think it was about 1500 total at that point. So lock that in. And then this second oval is where I got out on the options trade. And just to show you what happened next, I mean, I had a pretty good exit here because we had then dropped, and then the next few days we had come all the way back down to this, basically my entry point. The low was 357 cents, so about 20 cents above my entry, but it never hit my entry, which is, again, I think kind of rare. In most cases it does, but now Apple's come back up and then finally gone higher. Now, could I have held? Yes, but I didn't want to hold for such a long, the capital's tied up, the options diminish, and you're sitting there kind of in drawdown. The options ended up going red. So there's something to getting in and getting out with your profit. Now I'm going to come into the options chain. Now I bought the October contracts, and I want to have the options chain loaded up here. The October 16th, 320 call. Let me switch my account. So I got an in on July 31st. So basically August 1st, but I bought the Octobers. And I bought the Octobers for a reason. I don't have to worry about theta, and I have plenty of time to be right. You don't have to trade dailies or weeklies. Even if you expect to be in the trade for a couple days, you can still buy time. In fact, it's better to buy time. Are you going to make more money because of the short gamma, the shorter expiration in the gamma? Sure, you can make more money in shorter dated options, but in the same flip of the coin, you can lose more. And one down day, the next day it opens up lower, you're screwed. You have no recovery option. So I bought the Octobers. I bought 2. And again, I wanted to buy like 5, 6, 7 of these, and I never got filled in my full position. I should have just got in at the 5, but I was trying to layer into them because I just kind of thought Apple was going to like peak down lower. But as I said in the beginning, that 10% move, that was a pretty extended move on Apple. I could have been more aggressive, but it's fine. I got in, and I got in at 820. I closed them at 1325 at the high on that day. So about 550 per contract for an $1,100 gain. So total between the Nvidia and the Apple trade was about $3,600, all in about the span of 5 trading days. And you see these options, once Apple went down, these ended up going way below my entry into drawdown. And it wasn't up until even today, the high was 1335. So even on that move up, let me come back to the chart. Apple is higher than it was when I sold, okay? Apple is bigger price than when I sold, but the options are actually, the highest point today is lower than where I sold on Thursday. So that's your deal with options. And I had time. If you had any shorter dated options, if you had the August and maybe even the Septembers, they wouldn't have recovered as well, or they'd still be in drawdown. So the lesson here is buy time. The shares would have been fine. The shares I can hold as much as I want, but the options, even if I plan to be in for a few days or a week, I like to get at least 90 days out or more, because you don't have to deal with these drawdown periods. And you get out, you take your profit. Sitting through this, having it go red, come back up, it ties up your capital, and it's frustrating. And so this account, which I have labeled only shares, it's up about 8,800. I haven't traded a ton in it. I kind of gone back and forth between focusing on futures and equities, but I'm trying to swing more shares and get in here. And you know, the 2 losses I took were when I took some speculative trades on some options on some these are options trades on some kind of obscure names, and it's supposed to only be for shares. I paid the price. I think I was just messing around with SpaceX and IPO. My IPO shares were in the other account. I sold those at 200. Uber was small, and then QQQ was an options trade. Now I'm buying 6 months out or more on these. And I only do that when the NASDAQ drops more than 3% in a day. So I consider that okay for this account. And then you have the Nvidia, which was 1,000, and then the Apple trade, the 1,600. And then my biggest trade was on Netflix. We can come review that one. We come to the daily chart here. You can see Netflix. What a beauty this was. Scaled in all the way down through this drop, had conviction on it, came down to this level, double bottomed, and then this is when the Warner Brothers deal news changed. Catapulted up, and then I sold and I scaled out into this move up and got out about 2 days before the earnings. And I wanted to be out before earnings because all these gap downs right here, this gap down, where's it at? We gap down right here, we gap down right here. And I think the last couple earnings, there was a gap down. So I didn't want to be in another gap down earnings. So I closed the full position for a $7,000 gain. And then Nvidia never thought that it was going to come all the way back down as low as it did. And this earnings, it gapped down again. So 4 earnings in a row, it gapped down. I scaled in, I scaled out, took my trade, didn't overstay my welcome. Some people were probably in earnings hoping for a gap up, and their eyes got too bigger than their stomach. And I just said, I don't care if it goes up. I'm up $7,000. Get me out of this pig. And then it came back down, and then now it's getting this nice uptrend and recovering. And I still have Netflix in my long term. And I'll show you SpaceX too, just for transparency. There's my entry. I got the IPO shares. They only gave me 20 at 135, sold it at 201. It was like 1,400. And I should have got back in down here, but I'm looking for SpaceX to come back down to 126 to 130. In fact, I should even have this kind of put a zone right here. This rectangle, make it orange so I know it's not a demand zone, but it's a potential buy zone. I'll be looking for a back test into that. So those are the trades. Lesson today is, if you can, don't discount swinging shares. Buy options with time. And then when the indexes are flat and futures are flat, don't be afraid to look at the equity names. I mean, Marvel's up 7% today. Circle's up 9%. Tesla's up 3%, having a run. Elf is up 7%. This one's going back up. I have long-term shares. Microsoft had a nice pop today. There's the baton pass trade going on right now. The market is just handing off from big tech to big tech. Meta's up one day, Google's down. And then the next day, Apple's running, and then Google's running. And then the next day, Google comes off, and then Amazon is running. And then the next day, couple names are doing good. One sector, semis are up, and then consumer staples are down, and then energy stocks are doing well, and then semis pull back. There's just a rotation game going on in the market. And when one sector is going up really well, you want to start looking at the sectors that are lagging, because they just move the money into those, and then those come up. And then the big tech names come down. Apple had a really good bounce off of this zone. I'm going to come down here to a 5-minute. Monday, we came to this zone at 303, this back test, and then boom, it's up. And now it's had a good run. Now that Apple's had this good run, you want to start looking at some of the names that are lagging, like Nvidia. Nvidia came down to its lower EM. It has earnings coming up. Semis are doing less today. SanDisk had a huge run up. Now it's pulling back, trying to close this gap. You want to start looking at these names now that are pulling back for potential entries. If you're sitting here thinking that the market's going to get absolutely mollywopped after Bessent just announced they're going to double their bond purchases, and with Trump in office, they're committed to keeping the market up. If you think you're going to have some COVID sell-off, you're dreaming. You're dreaming right now. We'll have pullbacks, we'll have some downturns, but to think the market is going to crash, you're just going to get tore up in that process. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, if you are too afraid to long and you are thinking that this market is only going to go down, you're going to miss out on a lot of long opportunities having that bias. I'll see you in the next one.